Okay, good morning, everyone. We will begin, and if anyone else joins us throughout the webinar, then that's okay. I wanted to introduce myself with my video on, and then I am gonna sadly have to turn it off. Been having a bit of trouble with my internet connection this morning, and I wouldn't want the actual content to get lost because my video is on. Apparently that helps with the internet connection. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our webinar. My name is Ahava, and I'm the marketing director at Argentum Consultants. Sorry. Okay, I assume that most of the attendees today are representatives of VCs or investors. This webinar will be short and sweet. I'll begin by introducing Argentum and its multi-submission approach to grants, followed by a quick introduction to non-dilutive funding and its benefits in promoting a young company's growth. So I'm going to turn my video off just so the webinar runs smoothly. And please write to us in the chat if there's any difficulty hearing me or any technical issues. Okay, so I'll begin with introducing Argentum. Argentum specializes in EU research and innovation funding. We have 25 employees divided into 3 departments: the strategy team, business development team, and consulting and writing team. Our vision is to target innovative funding opportunities and to enhance participation and success in multinational research and innovation projects. Our network consists of over 180 clients who have participated in Argentum's consortia in the past and present. We are actually currently consolidating a consortium, and we recently have submitted a number of proposals to the EU Green Deal in January. I guess that's not so recent. And we have also many retainer clients who have been working with us, some for a number of months, some for a number of years. These allow us to consolidate large consortia ranging from 2 to 36 participants. In addition, the Deep Tech Showcase, which is a sister company of ours, is dedicated solely to the matchmaking process of investors with innovative young tech companies. We collaborate often with Deep Tech Showcase and use their knowledge and platform to better our ecosystem. So if you will, imagine a layer cake of types of funding. The first layer would apply to national sources of funding, such as Innovate UK, for example, which offers UK registered organizations grants of up to £25 million for commercially viable R&D. This R&D or this innovation can significantly impact the UK economy, and therefore this is a national source of funding promoting the local growth of companies. The second layer of the cake would be the co-funded programs in which a number of countries offer funding for collaborative initiatives and projects. The PRIMA program, for example, addresses agricultural topics and applies mainly to Mediterranean countries and to some EU member states as well. The third layer of the cake would be the programs funded directly by the EU, such as Horizon Europe, Horizon 2020, which was the previous Horizon program known to many. The EU-funded programs tend to be the most familiar of these 3. And though the EU has allocated 1.2 trillion euros for the purpose of funding innovation, it's important to remember that there are a multitude of other funding sources out there as well. The types of funding are divided into 2 main types. So the first one will be top-down, in which a specific topic of interest is proposed and an area call is published to answer to that topic. Top-down calls will often include the collaboration of a number of partners, and it's safe to say that most EU-funded grants are top-down. Bottom-up is the situation in which the EU proposes a general need for economic or employment growth, for example, and publishes an area call open to many different fields of innovation. This would be the EIC Accelerator, which is a very well-known program, which I assume many of you have heard of, to support relatively early stage companies with their R&D process. So these are two main types of funding. Okay, after that brief overview of the world of non-dilutive funding, very brief, I'd like to present Argentum's approach. We call it the multi-submission strategy, and it's pretty straightforward, just as it sounds. After years of working in this field, we've found that there's a significant difference between working with the client on one single submission versus on multiple submissions. For one reason, our writing team gets to know the company's product or innovation backwards and forwards and is able to apply that knowledge to the proposal writing process. Another important element is the company's ability to invest far fewer resources in each individual submission. Of course, there's also the enhancement of participation in research and innovation projects across the EU. So the way the process works, in a nutshell, the abundance of funding opportunities can become challenging to navigate. So the multi-submission strategy aims to increase our clients' access to funding while minimizing their efforts. As you can see, the process will start off with our strategist, move on to consolidating the consortium. The proposal is then finalized by our development team and ultimately reviewed by the team leader prior to submission. I'll give you a moment to look at this slide, get an idea of the proposal preparation process. As you can see, it begins with the consolidation of a concept and continues to building the consortium, coordinating between all the partners, and then finalizing the project proposal. So since this is a webinar that's aimed towards VCs and investors, we thought it would be appropriate to tackle this question. Why make non-dilutive funding part of your company's strategy? So the first reason would be this type of funding increases the company's value. So while the company can grow and receive funding for its R&D expenses, among other expenses, it doesn't need to lose equity as a result of getting funding. So that's one very main goal in the company's growth. The second reason would be to create partnerships across the EU and associated countries. This is I don't want to commit to anything, but it seems through the EU's general agenda that this is a very big goal, is to have partnerships created between the different EU member states and countries that have signed association agreements with the EU. And that's why, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the projects are collaborative. So that allows for many growth opportunities as well. The third reason would be justifying the next funding round as the company is making steps and growing. And as I mentioned, still remains with its value and doesn't lose equity. It justifies the next funding round, maybe makes it slightly easier. The fourth point is actually an important one, as a lot of these programs are highly competitive and many companies would like to receive non-dilutive funding. A company that does win one of these programs, definitely it's an indication of the level of their innovation, and it's a prestigious note to have won some of these proposals. And for that reason, we also believe in maximizing the chances for winning in these programs by applying to a very diverse variety of programs. The fifth point, funding your R&D activity, which at times can be very expensive, with no equity requirements. After this webinar, I will send a follow-up email with a link to book a call with our wonderful business development team. This in order to discuss potential collaboration, to throw around ideas, to see if there's potential for working hand in hand in order to maximize your portfolio company's chance for success, for winning non-dilutive funding, and for advancing and growing. I thank you for your time today. I apologize for not having my video on for the whole webinar. We look forward to hearing from you, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you, everyone.